The 2026 World Cup is proving to be one for the history books. We predicted that a lot of records will be broken at this tournament, and after just 2 rounds of games, we've already seen quite a number of those records come tumbling down. In this video today, we'll be talking about a few of them. These are 10 big records that have been broken at this World Cup.
Hey fam, this is your chance to build the jersey collection you've been waiting for. The Goal90 bundle deal is live. Buy 2 jerseys and get 10% off. Buy 3 and get 15% off. Buy 4 and get a massive 25% off. Club kits, country kits, retro classics, pick your favourites and save big. And yes, every order comes with free worldwide shipping. The deal runs only until the end of May. Goal90 bundle deal. Buy more, save more. Shop now at Goal90 Shop.
We'll start with the biggest one of all, the record for most goals in World Cup history. Lionel Messi came into this tournament needing 4 goals to break Miroslav Klose's record. And in just 2 games, he got them and won more. He opened the tournament with his first ever World Cup hat-trick against Algeria, which put him on par with the German legend. Then against Austria, it looked like he may not break it yet after he missed an early penalty, but he would go on to get his record-breaking goal in the 38th minute to put him alone at the top as the most prolific goalscorer the competition has ever seen. He would go on to extend the record in that same game with another goal in the 95th minute to seal a 2-goal win for Argentina, which guaranteed that they would not only play in the knockout rounds but finish first in the group. But that was not even the only World Cup record Messi broke in that game. Do you know what the other one is? Tell us in the comments, we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Now back to the video. Just a day before Lionel Messi's record-breaking show, it was Cabo Verde who were stunning the world and breaking records. The debutants pulled off a huge upset when they held Spain to a goalless draw in their first ever game at the World Cup. Some people called that a fluke, but they went a step further to secure another huge point against Uruguay in the next game to continue their unbeaten run at the World Cup. But the record came when they opened the scoring from a direct free kick against Uruguay. That game made them the first team to score their first goal from a direct free kick in World Cup history. Another debutant who has broken a long-standing record at this tournament is Curacao. They came into the tournament with no expectations, and after losing their first ever World Cup game 7-1 to Germany, everyone thought they would be the whipping boys of the group. But in their second game against Ecuador, they pulled off a massive shocker, holding the South Americans to a goalless draw and securing their first ever point at the World Cup. But it didn't come easy. They had to fight really hard to stave off the relentless attack of the star-studded Ecuador team, and the hero of the day and player of the match was their goalkeeper Eloy Room. He made 15 saves in that game, which made him the goalkeeper with the most saves in a 90-minute game in World Cup history. When Tim Howard made a record 16 saves in the World Cup game against Belgium back in 2014, the game went to extra time, which makes it a different record. As far as 90-minute games go, no goalkeeper has made more saves than Eloy Room. Now, this next record we're about to talk about was a team effort. When Switzerland beat Bosnia and Herzegovina in the Group B clash, that game produced 5 goals, with the first one coming in the 74th minute of the game. That became a record for the most goals scored after the 75th minute in a single game in World Cup history. This game started a conversation of how the new mandatory hydration break affects the momentum of teams, as we saw Switzerland come out swinging after the second half hydration break and go on to score 3 goals in the space of 15 minutes. Now, remember we told you that Lionel Messi broke another record in that game against Austria? Well, it was a record he didn't want. When he stepped up for his penalty kick in the 9th minute of the game, he became the player to have attempted the most penalty kicks in World Cup history. And then, when he put it wide of the goalkeeper's goal, he became the player to have missed the most penalty kicks in World Cup history. Of course, this does not include penalty kicks taken during shootouts. Messi has now missed a penalty in each of the last 3 World Cup tournaments. He missed a penalty against Iceland in 2018 and missed one against Poland in the 2022 edition in Qatar. Now, speaking of penalty records, Harry Kane broke one of those in the opening rounds of the competition. In the game between England and Croatia, Harry Kane became the player who has scored the most penalties in World Cup history, of course, excluding penalty shootouts as well. The England captain initially saw his penalty saved by Dominik Livakovic, but the goalkeeper was judged to have stepped out of his line before the ball was kicked, so it had to be retaken, and there was just no way Kane was missing a second time. He sent the goalkeeper the wrong way to put England in the lead and pull clear of Lionel Messi and co. to become the player to have converted the most penalty kicks in World Cup history with 5. He converted 1 penalty at the 2022 World Cup and 3 in the 2018 edition on his way to securing the Golden Boot. Now, Portugal might not have had the best start to the tournament, but Cristiano Ronaldo still managed to break a record. When he stepped out against DR Congo in the group opener, he became the oldest outfield player to start a FIFA World Cup match, doing so at the age of 41 years and 132 days. We expect that he will continue to extend that record until the end of the tournament this year. Another age record that has been broken this year is the one for oldest coach in World Cup history. Dick Advocaat led debutants Curaçao into this tournament to secure that record at the age of 78. He would further become the oldest coach to ever secure a World Cup point after he led the Curaçao team to a draw against Ecuador, securing the nation's first ever point in the competition. Interestingly, Advocaat was not expected to be here as he had initially resigned in February due to health concerns of his daughter. But after her health improved, he returned to his role 3 months later, led them into this tournament, and went on to break this record. Now, here's what's crazy. This particular record was broken 3 times at this very tournament. Hugo Broos first broke this record on the opening day of the tournament when he managed South Africa against Mexico. Just hours later, Miroslav Klose of Czechia broke that record. Then 3 days later, Advocaat came in and broke the record, of course, going on to extend it against Ecuador. Still on the age theme, Vozinha, of course, broke a record of his own in that game against Spain. The man whose performances have turned him into a global celebrity made his World Cup debut in that game against European champion Spain, and he immediately wrote his name into the history books. That day, he made 7 saves and kept a clean sheet to become the oldest goalkeeper to ever keep a clean sheet on his World Cup debut. Meanwhile, when France faced Senegal in the opening game of Group 1, all eyes were on Kylian Mbappe to possibly make history, but it was Senegal's Ibrahima Mbaye who came off the bench and did exactly that. He scored Senegal's only goal of the game to become the youngest African player to ever score a goal at the World Cup. But in the end, this is really looking like a Lionel Messi World Cup. In addition to the 2 records we have spoken of today, Messi has also broken some smaller ones already at this tournament. He is the player who has scored the most goals from outside the box in World Cup history, the oldest player to score multiple goals in a single World Cup game in the history of the competition, the player with the most wins as well as most games and most minutes played in the history of the competition. He, along with Cristiano Ronaldo, is also the first player in history to play in 6 different World Cup tournaments. There are other more personal records which have been broken at this tournament. Mbappe's brace against Senegal made him France's all-time highest goalscorer. Neuer has become the oldest player to make an appearance at a major tournament for Germany, while the USA became the first team in history to benefit from an own goal in consecutive matches at the World Cup. Are there more records that have been broken at this World Cup? What big record do you predict will go down next? Get in the comments and talk to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.